Welcome back, gamers. We're back again, and today we're doing our family tier list. If you missed yesterday's video, I'm gonna have it linked here. It's the victim tier list, and yeah, we got family today. It's been quite some time since my last video on a tier list, which I did back in May. So things have certainly changed a good bit since then. We have a new family member joining us in Bones and Hands, I guess. I don't think Hands was in my last one. So yeah, a lot of changes, but without further ado, let's hop into it. So starting off, I'm gonna slap Leatherface right up here in the S tier. Kind of a no-brainer. Best family member in the game, strongest, can one-shot in certain scenarios, but overall, I mean, Bubba, his power is undeniable. You know, some people are asking for nerfs. Personally, I think Bubba's fine. He is the face of the game, face of the franchise. You gotta have him be strong. You gotta have him to be one to be feared. So that is why I think Bubba is deserving of the overall spot. Next, we've got the old Cook, and I think I was a little controversial last time with Cook and Hitch, but I do think I'm still gonna stick in a similar thought process, and we're gonna put Cook here. You know, depending on your maps, you kind of have to have a Cook. Nancy's house has brought some interesting things. You got to have Cook slap a padlock on that outer gate. On Family House, Cook's power is, you know, you need that for that extra layer of security. He's very, very strong. He can hear things, which is, you know, fantastic for gathering information. Overall, Cook, kind of a quirky character, but a required one in many games nonetheless. Next, we have Hitch, and I don't remember. We'll look at my last tier list at the end of the video, but I think Hitch, I want to say I had above Cook last time. I do think I'm still going to put it that way. I think I'm gonna put Hitch there, and that's solely because of his versatility. Yes, the padlocks are very, very strong, but you can just do so much more with Hitch. He can go through gaps, he can go through crawl spaces, you can put your, you know, easily rearm your traps if they're disabled, whereas Cook's padlock is one and done. Hitch is strong, he can hit people hard, he's quick. You know, and for that reason, I do think he is very valuable. Once they kind of figure out the weird window situation on Family House, he's gonna be just as valuable again. But yeah, I mean, Hitch good on basically every map, whereas Cook, you could argue, isn't necessarily required on every map. Obviously the maps where you want Cook, he's very much needed, but Hitch, he can come and go pretty much on every map and be fantastic. Next up, Johnny Boy, and I think Johnny, this is going to be a little controversial as well. I'm going to put him in C tier for now. I don't know. It's tempting to move him into D tier, but I really do think he's bottom of the barrel. Yes, Johnny is very, very strong in certain situations. He can kill you in, you know, like 3 or 4 hits. Just similar to Leatherface, this man is powerful. He does not need scout, but he has it. So, you know, take that with what you will. Johnny is certainly one to be feared, and you don't want to be caught in the open with him. Same as like Leatherface, you don't want to be caught in the open. Freaking Johnny can take you out like that. It's kind of insane, but that said, he has his weakness. His ability is more or less useless in a lot of situations. I would love to see his ability fully reworked. Don't necessarily want to see him as a character fully reworked, but I do think his ability could be tweaked and certainly buffed majorly. Moving on to Sissy. Sissy, I am also going to put a little low, but I think she can sit here for now. I think B is where I would put her. Sissy, another kind of underrated character, I feel, in a lot of senses. You know, people sleep on the sissies. Obviously, you got sissies that rush basement. Sometimes not great when that happens, but that said, when she's in the basement, she can be very deadly. You got a scout wireframe sissy, you know, you're one poison and you're pretty much donezo. On the new graveyard map, Sissy in the basement is very, very, very strong. Probably shouldn't put that information out in the world because more people are probably going to rush basement with her, and I don't want that, but that just means you got to learn the basement, get out quick. But yeah, Sissy is very strong on the new map and basement. She's very strong on Family House. If you're running the linger perk, it's kind of busted, but very, very good on her. She has a lot of great build versatility. If you go blood build, chase build, you know, you can do many things with Sissy. definitely underrated. So I would be tempted to put her higher because she's so much fun to play too, but I do think obviously there are better family members out there, and so for that reason we're gonna toss her down a little bit. Nancy, we finally got our Nancy buffs in the most recent update, and with that I do think I'm gonna plop her still here. I do think she is more useful than Johnny in a lot of situations. She has her eye ability, which is very, very strong, especially in a squad. You know, being able to guarantee you know where someone is, very powerful. Her barbed wire traps are super annoying, very powerful as well. They've buffed her so that family can now go through them, so that's crazy. But you know, overall, I think Nancy still has some weaknesses. I would have liked to see her skill tree get a little bit stronger, give her some more opportunities there. Maybe that happens down the road, but for now it is what it is. I do think her traps, I would have kind of liked to see them be even quicker. I know we got a big buff on them, but I would have been fine with a little bit quicker. So she's still slow in that regard. Sort of need scout if you want the mobility. You don't have to have scout, because if you run it, there's kind of a gnarly poison claws build you can use on her, which is a lot of fun to use, but even then, you know, a fast victim is gonna get away from you. So that's why I think Nancy sits there for now. Hands, this boyo, while he's gotten his fair share of nerfs as of late, I do think he is still very, very strong. I don't want to put him in S tier. I don't love that, but I think that's where I'm gonna put him for now. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna put him. Obviously, a hands in every game, super annoying to constantly go up against, because he's the anti-Danny, you know, nullifies your play as a victim, and is just super frustrating to go against sometimes. But they've kind of nerfed him to the point where a lot of people have asked for these nerfs. They got rid of scout, which honestly, hot take, I don't think hands needed scout at all. I know a lot of people who are upset about that. I truly don't think he needed it. I think he's still fine. He's got really strong builds he can run. He can break barricades, which only other Leatherface can do. I guess Bones can technically do that, but that's a little trickier to get that to happen. Anyway, his traps are very powerful. Ripstall, crazy, and then the barge is very, very good. So hands also super versatile, kind of like a Hitch in a sense, but you know, the fact that he can completely ripstall a escape is pretty devastating. So I think for that reason we're gonna put him in S tier still. And now we have our newcomer Bones, and this is a tricky one actually. I think I'm gonna put him here for now. Actually, it's kind of a weird layout for the tier list, but I do think Bones goes there. He's obviously kind of bad in regards that in the current state, his savagery and endurance are busted. So really, if you want to make a blood Bones, that boy's going up here, maybe, I don't know, somewhere in like low S or A tier. But in the current state, he's certainly bad. Obviously, he's a gapper, so that has a lot going for him. Always, you know, I generally give gappers a leg up over the non-gappers, just for that mobility. It's always super useful. But in the current state, Bones definitely needs some love. He needs some fixes. We in theory should see those fixes coming in the next few weeks, hopefully. And if not, I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's great. I would like to see maybe the fuse time on his bombs be shortened by just a little bit. And overall, I don't really want to see much more changes than that, because I do think once they fix his savagery endurance, I think he's going to be pretty gnarly, and he probably will move up to somewhere around here once he's fixed. But for now, I think we'll hold him there. So yeah, that's all I have for now. I think I'm happy with that tier list. Let's go ahead and compare it to the last one I did. And okay, so definitely different. Very, very interesting. I've definitely changed my thought process. This is kind of funny to see actually. But Bubba, certainly strongly deserving of S tier. Looks like that's where I did have these flip-flop. I had a lot of people yelling at me that Hitch was too low and Cook was too high, but I still think the OG3 is the way to go. Truly, it's hard to deny how well they work together. Obviously, we got hands in the mix, so you know, he's strong in certain situations too. If you have a Danny or a Wyatt, you'll probably be seeing some hands more often, but if not, you'll see a lot of these three. And we also had Sissy bumped up. I think that's a good choice. The old John Donovan gave me a lot of insider information on Sissy, and so I think she's certainly deserving of higher than the last place family member. And we moved Johnny down there, which I think is fitting. Poor Nancy. This is crazy. I don't know why I had Nancy here. I probably should have had her there and Sissy down there on my last one, but we'll see. Interesting how the thought process changes over time, but yeah, not bad. So there's our family tier list. I hope you all enjoyed. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would be your family tier list? I would love to know. And maybe I'll link these my tier lists in the video description. That way y'all can check them out when you want. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a very happy new year, and I will see you all in 2025. If you have not yet, please consider liking the video and subscribing. Y'all got me to 400, and for that I'm very, very grateful. So that's why we're doing these little celebration tier lists. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye bye.